Two empires, one crown. In the world of luxury fashion, Chanel and Louis Vuitton reigned supreme, battling for dominance, admiration, and a piece of the billionaire pie. But what if I told you the rivalry between these brands is more than just a competition over handbags and runway designs? It's a battle of pride, heritage, and revenge, one that spans decades and has captivated millions worldwide. But who truly sits at the top of the luxury fashion throne? Stay tuned, because the truth is far more dramatic than you might expect. Every legendary battle has its origins, and the story of Chanel and Louis Vuitton begins not in the present, but in the past, with two women who defied the odds, challenged the status quo, and built empires from the ground up. In the early 1900s, Coco Chanel revolutionized fashion by introducing a fresh approach, one that liberated women from the restrictive corsets of the time. Chanel wasn't just about fashion, it was about a lifestyle, timeless, elegant, and effortlessly chic. But what truly set Chanel apart? It wasn't just the signature fragrance, the little black dress, or the quilted handbag. No, it was the audacity of breaking norms. But then, on the other side of Paris, Louis Vuitton was crafting a different kind of legacy, one rooted in travel, adventure, and elite craftsmanship. In 1854, Louis Vuitton set out to create the finest luggage the world had ever seen. It wasn't just luggage, it was a symbol of status, wealth, and most importantly, competition against other luxury brands of the time. Let's rewind for a moment. Imagine this: two brands, both with aspirations of becoming the epitome of luxury. What does that truly mean? Is it about more than just products? Is it the perception of success? Think about that as we dive deeper into the growing tensions between Chanel and Louis Vuitton. As the 20th century unfolded, both Chanel and Louis Vuitton's legacies began to grow, but with growth came competition. Fierce, unrelenting competition. Each brand fought to maintain its relevance, but more importantly, each brand fought to dominate the luxury market. Enter the 1980s. This is where the story truly heats up. After Coco Chanel's death in 1971, the brand faced a moment of crisis. Chanel was in danger of losing its edge, and no one knew whether the house could reclaim its former glory. Meanwhile, Louis Vuitton was experiencing its own meteoric rise. The brand's monogrammed bags became the must-have accessory for the rich and famous. It was the golden age for Louis Vuitton, or so it seemed. But then the unthinkable happened. Chanel made a comeback. Under the leadership of the visionary Karl Lagerfeld, Chanel transformed from being a stagnant relic into a cutting-edge brand once more. The world's elite were once again coveting the iconic Chanel bags. But here's the catch. As Chanel fought its way back into the spotlight, Louis Vuitton was about to enter a new era of its own, one that would challenge everything Chanel had worked for. But before we continue, ask yourself this: what do you value more, the heritage of a brand that defined elegance, or the audacity of one that took risks and conquered new territories? Think about that as we dive into the defining moments that set Chanel and Louis Vuitton on their warpath. The 2000s were a turning point for both brands. Louis Vuitton, now under the leadership of Marc Jacobs, took bold steps by collaborating with artists like Steven Sprouse and Takashi Murakami. These collaborations weren't just about fashion. They were about reimagining what luxury could be. Louis Vuitton wasn't content with being a symbol of traditional wealth. It wanted to be a part of modern culture. It wasn't just a brand, it was a statement. And suddenly, Chanel had a new kind of competition, one that was loud, colorful, and everywhere. On the other hand, Chanel, with Lagerfeld at the helm, leaned heavily into its heritage, reinventing its classic designs for a new generation. The brand's runway shows became events in themselves, with Lagerfeld creating larger-than-life sets and spectacles that captured the world's attention. Chanel wasn't just a brand, it was a universe unto itself, with its own rules, and the world followed. But here's where things get really interesting. In the past decade, both brands have had a resurgence of sorts, with celebrities and influencers pushing their logos and products into the mainstream. But has this battle for supremacy reached its peak? Has Chanel finally outpaced Louis Vuitton? Or has Louis Vuitton truly left Chanel behind in terms of cultural relevance? You see, there's something deeper at play in this rivalry, something that no one talks about. Behind the scenes, there's a darker side to this competition, one that's filled with corporate maneuvers, acquisitions, and unexpected betrayals. Before you go, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of luxury fashion, make sure to hit that subscribe button and watch our next video on the secret rivalries of other iconic brands. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until then, stay fashionable, stay competitive, and remember, in the world of luxury, the battle never ends.